Hi guys, I am Crystal Sky and today is day 24, I believe. I might be wrong. But today we're doing a drawing tutorial, how to draw and color a girl with Starbucks chocolate. We are just going to be doing the drawing portion because that's what I like to do. I may color in my own colors if I feel like it. We shall see how everything goes. Let's get to this tutorial. Alrighty guys, so day 24 already. We're almost done with this and I'm pretty excited to finish it, and I'm really sad to finish it as well because I feel like I've gotten a lot better over these last 30 days, and doing the tutorials on a video where I can be held accountable is helping me a lot. So I did decide to make a whole bunch of changes to what she draws here. Mainly, you'll see the hands in a minute. I actually erased the first pair of hands that I draw. This pencil, while it's great for doodling, has a really thick lead. It's pretty thick. It's not, like the thin Kuratogas that I usually use. So I used it, or I decided to use it for these tutorials because it's bigger and it's easier to see on camera. But I couldn't for these hands, so you'll see me erase this whole... I draw this whole set of hands with this pencil, and then I say, no. And I grab my Alice in Wonderland Kuratoga. So those supplies is my Monotone 1 eraser. This, yeah, see, I'm starting to get frustrated. I'm like, that hand does not look like a hand. I can draw better hands. It's just the Canson XL sketch pad that I use all the time. And then I switched to the Alice in Wonderland Kuratoga. I also, afterwards, color it with some of my Copics. But it's just the same thing that I do in my sketchbook where I cover over the pencil, or color over the pencil lines. So it's no big deal. Though I actually think it detaches or doesn't make the piece as good as it could have been. Which is a little strange because I actually really like that usually. So for it to suddenly not be as good, I don't know what it was about this drawing that detracted from it, but it just definitely wasn't as good. So yeah, better hands, much better hands. Even if the fingers are a little bit thinner and look a little less like fingers, the hands are better, I think. So there's a bunch of different changes that I made in this. I close the eyes instead of opening them. I make the cup a little bit bigger because I made the hands a little bit bigger. I add more elbow to the elbows because in the original picture there's no elbows. I add more cloth, give it a bigger length, almost like it's closer to her chest, almost, than the original. And then I changed the hair up a little bit. So those are all the changes that I made from the tutorial, but it's basically the same thing. Now the tutorial has no words. It's all music and it's just her drawing. So I wouldn't really call it a complete tutorial because there's no audio tutorial. It's just visual. But it's not that bad. There are people who learn that way, and I'm just not one of those people. But I did take the face, except for the eyes being closed instead of open. I did take the facial expression. So that's what's important. It was definitely a pretty a tough piece for me to do, or a tough tutorial for me to do, because I don't do these types of tutorials well, where there's just audio and there's no talking. I just don't do that as well as a lot of other people that I've seen do. Her hair and her eyebrows are all really thick lines almost. And I noticed this is out of frame. I do pull it down at the end, but I was getting really frustrated with some of the different pieces of this. Mostly the hair was too big, so I had to erase the head and start over from there. At the top of the head, I mean. And none of the lines underneath that are half erased really get erased all the way, which is a little annoying. It's because I'm using the Monotone 1 instead of using the thicker Staedtler eraser that I normally use. I'm really unhappy with those lines of her hair. Now, in the tutorial, they use that. They she puts lines there for her hair, and I really dislike it. I don't know if it's the way I did it or if it's the entire picture that it detracts from for me. I just really don't like it. So even though it's there, it's just something that I personally dislike about it. Also, the face is sort of slanted. It's thicker, the lines are thicker on one side than they are the other. And I'm grabbing my Copics. She uses colored pencils, I believe, and that definitely would have been better with the piece, but I have, my colored pencils have been MIA for the past, I don't know, month and a half, which is a really sad thing because I have a whole set of Prismacolors that I can't find. So I have to clean this office and then I'll find them eventually. But so I just colored it over with Copics like I would in my render sketchbook, which is, you know, not a bad thing. I do mess up some of the pencil lines and the hands because the lines are so close, so it smudged all the pencil lines there. Also, this isn't Copic paper, so it's kind of like soaks up the Copic really quickly. I think I colored over those lines underneath her hair because I really disliked it. But other than that, I really like the bottom sketch before I colored it, and I don't really mind the colored afterwards. Just kind of like, I didn't really color her hair all the way, just kind of colored the darker spots. You can see the pencil smudge next to her nose. That is from the pencil and not using a micron and erasing. That's what happens when you use a pencil with Copics on this paper, the Canson XL paper. Which, you know, it's fine. It doesn't do that on the render paper. On the render paper, if you color over it, color over the pencil with Copic, it stays. And it just doesn't do it on this paper, which is, you know, it's different type of paper, and I just have to accept it. It's fine. It's just a little doodle. Right? Right, guys? Everybody please agree with me.
Alrighty guys, so that's it for this little tutorial that I did. I don't hate it, but honestly I don't really like it. This is what I do in my sketchbook when I am just doodling and I don't intend to do a finished piece of work, is I just go in and I color it and I see kind of what it'll look like. And I like the sketch, I just don't like the colors that I added, which happens to me all the time, so, you know, that's pretty normal. I actually had to go and get my other pencil because this was too thick. The lines were too thick on this, so I got my my Kurtoga pencil. Anyway, a tutorial without words is always pretty hard, so I did make a few changes to make it easier for myself. But other than that, what do you guys think? So that was day 24, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!